Are starting to go up, guys.
Matt, thank you so much. Taking a look at our top story this morning. Thousands of dollars worth of damage and a spray-painted message of hate have forced a Salt Lake City business to temporarily close.
Now we're hearing from the family who owns that small business, and they say it could be months before they can reopen. News specialist Shelby Lofton has that story.
This place has been very good to us.
This family-owned business is where Sabrina Wynn grew up.
I worked here throughout my high school and college years.
Her mom calls Water Creek Nails and Spa her baby.
She has put in so much work into this place, and my dad obviously too. He built the rooms, installed all the equipment, installed the sinks.
When a vandal tore apart the salon,
he actually took out the shelves and threw everything on the ground.
The family was shocked.
The door obviously was shattered to pieces. He started spray painting everything, ripped out the sinks from the walls that caused the flooding.
Standing water leaked next door.
And it damaged the chairs.
When Wynn got the call from police, she prepared herself for a mess. She says what she saw was much worse.
I actually peeked my head through the door, and when I had seen that, I just walked away.
The vandal spray painted hate speech on the wall.
It felt like it was a personal attack, you know, in a place where my family should feel safe.
Wynn says she's proud to be the daughter of parents who immigrated from Vietnam. She says she had a difficult conversation with her mother.
Talking to her about what a hate crime actually is definitely was a hard conversation to have, and kind of a rude awakening for her.
Wynn shared pictures of the vandalism online as a warning to others.
I feel like these things go underreported because people are afraid of retaliation.
She thinks of other Asian-owned businesses nearby. She says racism is real in Utah.
And I want to make sure, you know, again, everyone is safe and taking precautions.
Shelby Lofton, KSL-5 News.
Shelby, thank you for that report. We are waiting to hear back from Salt Lake City Police on the suspect's information. Right now, the salon owner is accepting donations to help everyone who works there. And if you would like to help, head on over to KSL-TV.com.
This morning, an Eagle Mountain family is sharing a safety warning. Be careful.
Well, we are looking out for the good this morning. A big birthday celebration for a World War II veteran from Utah. Wayne Ursenbach just turned 100 years old. He was drafted into the Army in 1943 and served in the now infamous Battle of the Bulge. Ursenbach got a bachelor's degree at BYU and a master's degree at the U. He was married to his wife Bernice for 77 years. She passed away in 2021. Now, when asked about her, he said that she was the most amazing thing that he had seen in his 100 years. Ursenbach has 7 kids of his own and now has over 100 grandchildren and great-grandchildren and 1 great-great-grandson. I had to do a double take on that, but wow, 100. What a legacy. That's pretty incredible.
And there's so few World War II veterans left. We have to celebrate them while they're still alive.
I was just going to say that. There are not many left as we're pushing that century mark from when, you know, or 100 years old is how most veterans are that served at that era. Hey, let's take a look at Cache Valley. We've got a...
KSL Today starts now.
I want to make sure, you know, again, everyone is safe and taking precautions.
A Salt Lake City business giving that warning after being broken into and messages of hate left painted on the walls.
And we're taking a look at snow totals from the most recent...
10 minutes from Magna to I-15. Lori?
Katya, thank you. This morning, a small business in Salt Lake City now closed after it was vandalized.
Thousands of dollars worth of damage was left behind, along with a spray-painted hate message. News specialist Emma Benson joins us live this morning on the details with all of this and how this all happened. Emma?
Yeah, Tamara, Lori, this is just devastating. Water Creek Nails and Spa will be closed for months. The damage will take some time to repair, and the family is just torn up.
She has put in so much work into this place, and my dad obviously too. He built the rooms, installed all the equipment, installed the sinks.
The family says that the vandal took out shelves, shattered doors, ripped out the sinks from the walls, and also spray-painted hate speech on the wall. Sabrina Wynn says that when she got the call from police that the salon had been vandalized, she wasn't expecting that much damage or the hate speech. She says it was a pretty difficult conversation to have with her mom.
Talking to her about what a hate crime actually is definitely was a hard conversation to have and kind of a rude awakening for her.
Now, Wynn did share pictures of the vandalism on social media to make sure others are taking precaution and are safe. Now, we are still waiting to hear back from Salt Lake City Police on suspect information. Right now, the salon is taking donations through Venmo. You can find that on our website, and they're using that money to help the people there. Back to you guys.
Yeah, that's just heartbreaking to see all that damage for that family. Emma, thank you for that report.
Meanwhile, this morning, a Utah Highway Patrol trooper recovering after he was hurt.
Lori.
Katia, thank you. 5:31 right now. This morning, a small business in Salt Lake City is closed after it was vandalized.
And thousands of dollars worth of damage was left behind, along with the spray-painted hate message. News specialist Emma Benson joins us live this morning with the latest on this investigation. Emma?
Yeah, guys, Water Creek Nails and Spa will be closed for months. The damage will take some time to repair, and understandably, the family is just torn up.
She has put in so much work into this place, and my dad obviously too. He built the rooms, installed all the equipment, installed the sinks.
Now, the family who owns the salon says the vandal took out shelves, shattered doors, they ripped out the sinks from the walls, and they also spray painted hate speech on the wall. Sabrina Wynn says when she got the call from police that the salon had been vandalized, she wasn't expecting that much damage or the hate speech. She says it was a difficult conversation to have with her mom.
Talking to her about what a hate crime actually is definitely was a hard conversation to have, and kind of a rude awakening for her.
Wynn shared pictures of the vandalism on social media to make sure others take precaution and are safe. Now, we are still waiting to hear back from suspect information, but the owner of the salon is accepting donations through Venmo, so you can help. You can find their Venmo handle on our website, and they say that they'll use that money to help all the people who work there. Back to you guys.
It's just senseless. Emma, thank you for that report.
Well, developing this morning, a family of...
KSL Today starts now.
It felt like it was a personal attack up, in a place where my family should feel safe.
This morning, we're hearing from the daughter of a small business owner whose place was destroyed over the weekend.
Plus, Utah working...
Except Sardine Canyon. Lori.
All right, Katia, thank you. This morning, a small business in Salt Lake City now closed after it was vandalized.
Thousands of dollars worth of damage was left behind, along with a spray-painted hate message. News specialist Emma Benson joins us live with the details. Emma?
Yeah, Tamara, Lori, just devastating for this family-owned business. Water Creek Nails and Spa will be closed for months as the damage will take some time to repair, and the owners are torn up.
She has put in so much work into this place, and my dad obviously too. He built the rooms, installed all the equipment, installed the sinks.
Now, the family says the vandal took out shelves, they shattered doors, ripped out the sinks from the walls, and even spray painted that hate speech on the wall. Sabrina Wynn says that when she got the call from police originally that the salon had been vandalized, she wasn't expecting that much damage or the hate speech. She says it was difficult to have that conversation with her mom.
Talking to her about what a hate crime actually is definitely was a hard conversation to have, and kind of a rude awakening for her.
Wynn shared pictures of the vandalism on social media to make sure others take precaution and are safe. Now, we are still waiting to hear back from Salt Lake City Police on suspect information. If you would like to help this family, you can Venmo, you can donate. We have their Venmo handle on our website, KSL-TV.com, and that money will go to help everyone who works at the salon. Back to you guys.
Just watching some of that footage, Tamara and I are just shaking our head.
Just can't comprehend it.
No.
You don't get why people would do something like that.
Emma, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, this morning, a Utah Highway Patrol trooper is
Lori.
Katia, thank you. Our top story this morning, a small business in Salt Lake City now closed after it was vandalized.
Thousands of dollars worth of damage was left behind, along with a spray-painted hate message. News specialist Emma Benson joins us live with the latest on this. Emma?
Tamara, Lori, Salt Lake City Police say they are investigating this as a hate crime. Water Creek Nails and Spa will be closed for months. Damage is estimated at around $15,000. And the family who owns the business is understandably torn up.
She has put in so much work into this place, and my dad obviously too. We built the rooms, installed all the equipment, installed the sinks.
The family says the vandal took out shelves, shattered doors, ripped out the sinks from the walls, and spray painted hate speech on the wall. Sabrina Wynn says that when she got the call from police that the salon had been vandalized, she wasn't expecting that much damage or the hate speech. Wynn says it was a difficult conversation to have with her mom.
Talking to her about what a hate crime actually is definitely was a hard conversation to have and kind of a rude awakening for her.
Now, Wynn did share pictures of the vandalism on social media to make sure others take precaution and are safe. And we are just learning from Salt Lake City Police this morning that the suspect left with 2 other men. They are asking for any information. If you know any details, please contact the police. Also, if you're interested in donating to help out this family, we do have their Venmo handle on our website, KSL-TV.com. Back to you guys.
All right, with new information this morning, Emma, thank you.
Developing this morning, a family.
Thanks, guys. Well, coming up at 5, KSL takes a closer look at 2 disturbing hate crimes in our state. We'll focus on how prosecution has changed in just the last 3 years and what you should do if you see hate in your neighborhood.
As you prepare to head out for dinner or some holiday shopping, beware of brazen thieves. How one couple targeted a Utah woman.
It's a battle of the
Lindsay Arts, KSL-5 News.
Lindsay, thank you. Salt Lake City Police looking for the people accused of spray painting racist language inside of a nail salon. It happened over the weekend.
News specialist Brianna Chavez spoke to the chief of police today. And Brianna, he says he's seen an increase in hate crimes, correct?
Yeah, Debbie, Mike, that's right. He thinks that there's a lot of fear and concern just in general here in our community. Chief Mike Brown tells me that he wants the community to know that the department is doing everything that they can to investigate these types of crimes. Now, as we've reported, a downtown Salt Lake nail salon was vandalized and has about $15,000 in damage. The suspects also spray painted a hateful message on the walls. Chief Brown says that detectives are trained to not only investigate the type of crime or the crime itself, but what motivated the crime. He also tells me he understands why these crimes go underreported in general and that people might feel a sense of distrust. However, his message to the community is to report these types of crimes, no matter how small, to help the department better understand not only the situation that someone may be facing, but how they can help others in the future.
We don't know what we don't know. Yeah. And sometimes it may be just a small incident here, a small incident there. But in the long run, it may be a hate crime. If they're reported, we can connect those dots and help victims.
Now, nationwide, there's been an increase in hate crimes, especially towards more Jews and Muslims. And according to the FBI, 11,600 crimes were reported last year, 116 of them in Utah, but they anticipate that that number could be much higher. Now, the Salt Lake City Police Department, along with other community partners, also make up Community Partners Against Hate. Now, together, they released a public service announcement encouraging people to speak up. We'll have more from the group and how they're coming together to support one another coming up at 6:30. For Live at 5, I'm Brianna Chavez.
Brianna, thank you. And if you or somebody you know is the victim of a hate crime, you can report it directly to the FBI at tips.fbi.gov. You can also call them at 1-800-225-5324. Hate crimes can also be reported to your local police department's non-emergency line. If you see someone committing a hate crime personally, or if the crime threatens somebody's safety, you can call 911.
Well, a warning tonight from a Utah mother after a brazen theft resulted in thousands of dollars being charged on her debit card.
His Special Sheriff Park joined us live from Riverton. Sheriff, what happened here?
Well, Mike and Debbie, if you've ever had your purse or your wallet stolen, you know how frustrating that can be and what a headache it can be trying to recover what was stolen. But what happened in this case, what caught our attention is when and where this happened. I'm going to have you take a look here. And it's, Joey Thomas says that she was having lunch with her family at a Panera in Riverton last Thursday when she put her purse right down next to her feet. Now, in a series of surveillance images from Panera shared with Joy and her children on Facebook, You'll see what happens next. As Joy is having lunch, a woman sitting behind her appears to drop something on the floor. She then reaches into Joy's purse and steals her wallet. Quickly, the woman takes out her credit cards, hands them to the man that is sitting with her at the table. The woman then quickly puts the wallet back into Joy's purse. Now, all of this is happening within seconds while Joy and her family are sitting there inches away.
It's so disheartening to think that people will do that. I mean, my husband and I are on a fixed income, and, you know, they proceeded to go to the Apple store and charge $2,700 worth of merchandise, which we certainly don't have the money to go do.
And Joy tells me the thieves made that purchase at that Apple store in Murray within 45 minutes of stealing her cards. And then they tried to make another purchase at the Best Buy, but she at that point had noticed they were missing and notified her bank and credit card companies. Now, Joy is working with the Riverton Police Department trying to stop these criminals. She is sharing her experience in hopes of protecting other families this holiday season as you're out enjoying a meal or shopping. Mike and Debbie, she says it appears this couple knew exactly what they were doing, and she says they were good at it. She believes she was targeted for a reason. We've reached out to the Riverton Police Department to find out if they believe this is an isolated case or if they've had a rash of these in the area. We haven't heard back, but as soon as we do, we will certainly update you. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Shara, thanks for that update. That's good information. All of us should be aware of that. Well, another crime of opportunity, you should be on the lookout.
Vulgarities at a family of color.
It makes you feel very violated and angry.
And a Utah woman is in the process of recovering thousands of dollars after a brazen theft in broad daylight. Her warning to other families.
Even more.
And before you head out to dinner or to do some holiday shopping, a warning about brazen thieves. Coming up next, how a Utah woman was targeted.
Or you can also visit KSLquarters.com.
A Utah mother is in the process of recovering thousands of dollars after a brazen theft in broad daylight.
And News Specialist Shara Park joined us live from Riverton. Shara, if you have ever had a wallet or a purse stolen, you feel this woman's pain.
Oh, absolutely, Mike and Deanie. It is very frustrating if you've ever been in that situation, and then trying to recover it, such a headache. Now, the reason this case caught our attention is because of when and where it happened, and the victim sharing the details of what happened, hoping to help other families, keep other families safe this holiday season.
They're so brazen.
It was last Thursday at this Panera Bread in Riverton when 70-year-old Joy Thomas says she was targeted.
It makes you feel very violated and angry.
Thomas was having lunch with her family when a couple sat behind her. What happened next plays out in a series of surveillance images from the restaurant shared by Thomas and her children on Facebook. Within a matter of seconds, the woman behind Thomas pretends to drop something, reaches into her purse and steals her wallet. She then takes her credit cards and hands them to the man at the table. Moments later, she puts the wallet back.
They just reach over, even with my kids sitting there facing them, and took out the credit cards.
Thomas says the couple left the restaurant and within 45 minutes were charging her debit card.
They proceeded to go to the Apple store and charge $2,700 worth of merchandise, which we certainly don't have the money to go do.
Thomas is sharing her experience in hopes of protecting others. She says the couple who targeted her knew exactly what they were doing.
I'm sure it wasn't their first time.
And Thomas tells me that she's going to be switching now to one of those crossbody bags that she can keep on her at all times because of this situation. So frustrating for her and anyone out there who's been a victim of this. We've reached out to the Riverton City Police Department to find out if this may have been an isolated case or if they've had others like this in the area in recent weeks. At this point, we have not heard back, but as soon as we do, Mike and Deanie, we will update this story. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, it is maddening. Like you see from that video there, it appears like they knew exactly, they've done something like this before. They were very good at it.
And at the same time, you can see how it could happen so often.
All right, Shara, thank you.
Yep.
Happening tonight, Salt Lake City leaders will unveil the...
Arrested during the demonstration. Hate crimes, top of mind here in Utah. Salt Lake City police say that they are committed to investigating these hate crimes and helping out the victims.
News specialist Brianna Chavez shares how local leaders and groups are coming together and encouraging people to speak up and stand up against hate.
I think they're increasing. I really do.
A hateful message spray painted on the walls of this downtown Salt Lake City salon. A Muslim woman spat on while trying to ride the tracks. the Jewish congregation dealing with a bomb threat, so did a bookstore for hosting an LGBTQ event. These incidents all taking place in Salt Lake County within months of each other this year alone.
There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of harm, and there's a lot of concern.
Salt Lake City Police Chief Mike Brown says the department is dedicated to helping victims of hate crimes.
I want you to know that our detectives are trained very well to follow up and to find out, to investigate the crime, but also the why.
The only thing Chief Brown asks of the public is to report these crimes no matter how small.
We don't know what we don't know.
Hate crimes are going up nationwide, especially those that are anti-Semitic or anti-Islamic. The FBI says more than 11,600 crimes were reported last year, but anticipate that number is much higher.
What we want to hear reported more are crimes against individuals who may not even realize that a threat to them or a threat to their lives constitutes a crime.
Jay Jacobson is the chair of Community Partners Against Hate, led by the United Jewish Federation of Utah. It's made up of different community organizations and leaders, including Salt Lake City Police.
And what we do is we listen to each other. We share when there are incidents, even below the level that gets police attention.
Discussing how to combat misinformation that leads to these types of crimes and provide resources for victims.
So that no one
is the victim of hate.
Community Partners Against Hate creating this PSA this year to educate the community to report.
Not reporting allows these things to go unaddressed.
And Jacobson tells me that the group is working with state legislators and with the Department of Public Safety to try to come up with a statewide reporting system. You can learn more about the group, watch that full PSA, and find any other resources over on our website, KSL-TV.com. Brianna Chavez, KSL 5 News.
Brianna, thank you. And if you or someone you know is a victim, you're asked to give them a call.
Salt Lake City police say cracking down on hate crimes is a top priority. They, along with local leaders and groups, encourage Utahns to speak up and stand up against hate.
I think they're increasing. I really do. I want you to know that our detectives are trained very well to follow up and to find out, to investigate the crime, but also the why.
From hateful messages spray painted on businesses to a Muslim woman spat on while trying to ride tracks and more. These incidents have all happened within months of each other this year. Salt Lake Police Chief Mike Brown urges people to report these crimes no matter how small. If you or someone you know is the victim of a hate crime, you can report it directly to the FBI. Hate crimes can also be reported